Welcome to this session for Cardano Open Source. I created this. My name is Bernard Spanda, Intersect Developer Advocate. I'd like you to introduce yourself as the recording is started. Let's start with Daniela. Daniela.
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Well, I'm Daniela Kamano, a third-year student at Richfield. I'm doing BSc in Information Technology. So far, we have done quite different computer languages, such as C#, C++, JavaScript. And the language I'm very much comfortable in is JavaScript and PHP for now.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow. 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 Very good. Very good. Gandhi. If I mispronounce your name, forgive me.
No, it's okay, sir. You pronounced it
Thank you.
perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Gandhi Timana. I'm currently a Richfield student too, and I'm doing my higher certificate in IT, and I'm looking forward to extend my studies next year. And I was doing Visual Basic programming. So yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Next one is Imran Rutu.
Hello there, my name is Imran Mrotu, and I also do higher certificates. I've mastered HTML, and when it comes to programming, I've done Visual Basics, and right now I'm currently studying JavaScript and domain-specific languages and how they function.
Thank you. Well done. Over to you, Ntobeko.
Greetings everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, very audible.
Okay, greetings everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm studying. My name is Tobebo. I'm studying DIT, Diploma in Information Technology. I'm a third year. I'm not really big on coding, but I'm willing to learn. So yeah, that's me. Thank you.
This is the platform, Ntobeko. Tapelo.
Hi, my name is Tapelo, and I'm doing DIT third year in Richfield.
Welcome. And then I've got Cherub. Did I call you? Greet everyone. Okay. Sometimes what is going to happen is we are going to be getting poor connections, you get disconnected. Always join back. If I get disconnected, just carry on where I left discussing. I'll join back up until we finish our session. So that is how we have got used to this. Right. The first thing I'll say, thank you all of you who have managed to come to here. And I would like everyone who will come after here, they are all welcome. They must feel free. All of you feel free. This is a platform where you have an opportunity to learn. There is 10,500 I put up for you guys. And I want the best out of the best here. You don't know out of this what is going to come. So if you do not, work hard, and you give excuses, I'm used to it. I'm used to it a lot. I used to do it also. I used to have very good reasons why I didn't do what I was supposed to do, why I didn't meet the deadlines, why I didn't submit my work. Okay, this is the platform for you to learn and acquire industry-specific skills. It's different from the skills that we get in college. In college, we are mostly trying to create a strong foundation, but we are always guarded by exams and the lecturers. So in this field where you work, and then you will find that you yourself, you need to research a lot of things, innovate, and even create new technologies, which no one else has written a book about. Now let's come to open source. Open source is predominantly an environment where the source code is published to anyone else to modify, to improve, to even create something new out of it. And GitHub is one of the largest open source repositories. It is not the only one. Now, what I need us to establish is what culture, what expectations does the open source community expect from us to work. We are going to work on Cardano developer repositories, the ones that I have listed in your groups. So feel free if there is any question, you've lost directions, you don't know what to do, at least you are better because there is Bernard, there is Alex, there is Sugana, and you have got your colleagues here, you can discuss together. A lot of open source successful Cardano developers, they were teaching themselves. Some of them never went to college, to high school to do a BSc degree, but they taught themselves. So what does it tell us? It tells us that if we work hard, we are going to succeed without giving excuses of what level of tertiary you are in, whether you have completed it or not. What is most important is for you to have a mind of continuous research, endless research, exploring things, repeating, practical, putting more hours, learning from others. So that eventually at some point in time is going to mature your skills. So that is what I can say to you. I know maybe some, when they came here, they were expecting, okay, we are going to be given this and given that and then marked. I said, nothing like that. Nothing like that. And again, the platform for communication is Discord. This one, we are just doing a what? When I go to WhatsApp and I post, we are not going to use WhatsApp for communication, sending in your information, whatever you found. We are doing it all under Oxygen Global. It is a mess. It's very, very, very difficult to follow. When somebody has posted something and 7 people who post, the next person who comes online doesn't know even where to start. You can't put topics, follow-up groups. It's very difficult. And Cardano is using Discord primarily for developer communications. That is where they use that. So I want you to learn to use Discord, number one. And number two, to learn to use Git on your laptops and machines. Number three, to learn to use GitHub. So those are the focus areas that we are going to start with and make sure that we have got those basic skills. If you fail to master it quickly, remember you can work in teams. That is why you are in groups. Push as a group to have a group achievement. That is how people learn out there. When we are really working in the industry, you are going to really realize that 80% of the new skills that you are going to acquire, they will be coming from your team, from your other connections and networks you have. They will be coming from Stack Overflow. There is Stack Exchange also for Cardano. They will be coming from, sometimes they will use ChatGPT, they will use Google, they will use even some other Udemy tutorial materials. It's endless. But eventually, at some point in time, you are going to be happy because you are going to say, yeah, I did that. Yes, I did that. So that is where we are going into. That internal satisfaction is the most important. Right, I have put up group cash prizes to what you call it, speed up effort and competition. Otherwise, sometimes students will just say, well, I will pass, I'll get my marks, I'll get a certificate, and then they relax. You are not aware that behind this project, there is Cardano, there is Intersect, there are other experienced people who are hoping at some point in time, you will become Cardano developers. So there's no one else's time being wasted. As long as you put your effort, you yourself will gain the skills that you need. Right, one last thing before we start. I want you every day to complete that logbook. Every day there's 5 lines where you write down, what did you do? Just say what you achieved to do. Don't say I was reading. You are not coming to work to read. Don't say I was learning. No. Learning is what we call is a non-billable hour. In some of my areas, developers, we have got what we call billable hours, non-billable hours. Non-billable hours is we assume you have got the skill. If you don't have the skill, then it's up to you to go and spend hours to get that skill. Then you can't then bill a customer for learning the skill that you'll use to give the customer the product or the service. It's non-billable. So when you are saying to the customer, my rate per hour is 450 rands per hour. That 450 is the productive hour, the billable hour, measurable and objective. So those are the things let us try to keep in mind. On your notebook, guys, can you write the following, what we call soft skills? Write them down, read them many times, and practice them a million times. Number 1, communicate. Have you written it down? Number 1, communicate. If you say today, 1 hour I'm going to work on Discord. You get onto Discord, first greet people, hi guys, today I'm here, I'm working on this. Right, yeah, I don't understand what you post. You get other 2, 3 people, you communicate. See, oh, yeah, we are lost. Are we on the right track or not? Communicate. Send messages. If you achieve something, the 2 of you, you find, oh, we have fixed that. There was a mistake there. We fixed it. How? This way. But remember now, you have to write a professional report. Communicate. You write a report nicely and post it in your group so that others can see, oh, that is a report explaining how he or she managed to do that. Or let's say you have a challenge. Communicate. I did this and that and that. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm expecting to get this, but I'm getting that. You communicate, you write it down, go to your group, post it, look at it. When somebody posts something on Discord, keep checking your Discord every day. Because this is a module, I'm supposed to give you marks at the end of this module. It's not a holiday. It's not a holiday. You can ask other Richfield students. I have refused to sign and stamp their work integrated learning logbooks. It's because there is not enough evidence to back up whatever they have on that paper. So I've said number 1 is communication. Remember that logbook you have, it's a means of communication with your lecturers. You write neatly. If you are writing in brief, let it be brief, good English. That makes anyone outside know you worked on 1, 2, 3 and achieved 4, 5, 6. Avoid things that are general. Today we had a work at Discord, it was nice, we enjoyed it. That's general and useless. Be very specific. If you miss a day, then make sure the following day you cover up for what you left. Skill number 2, meet deadline. Meeting deadlines is not something that if you know you can do it. It depends on the skill and on the task. But you need right from now, whenever even you are going for an interview, you are looking for a job, to have some tactics of how to meet deadlines. I'll share with some of my tactics with you. Because the moment I say, all right, guys, what are your tasks? When are you going to finish? And you give me the deadline. What am I expecting? What are we expecting? We are expecting before or on that deadline, things must be done. Things must be submitted. But if you don't, then it means you do not have skills to meet deadlines on other specific tasks. And then don't give excuses like, I'm new to this, I don't know this, like this. No one knows anything most of the time on the open source or on IT. Things are changing every day. It is up to you to put up more effort and speed up your work. That is why you are working in teams. It doesn't mean that a task you are doing alone, you have to achieve everything A to Z as a lone developer. No. If somebody can do something and help you get it finished, teamwork is very important. So that is number 3, work as a team. Team skills are very, very, very important. I'm not supposed to lecture you, but remember, if I take it for granted that you know it, when you have never worked, it's unfortunate for me to do that. I don't want to take it for granted. So number 3 is teamwork. Learn to collaborate and work with everyone. Don't compete against each other, complement each other. What I mean here, I've got a Mary here, we are working on a task here. We are working, then I'm trying to make sure that I show Mary that I know better than her. Mary is on the other side also trying to show that she knows better than me. And then along the way, there are some things that I discover. Then I keep them quiet so that Mary fails. Then I prove that I am better than Mary. See what I'm doing here with Mary? We are competing. We are not complementing each other. Is going to retard our progress as a team. That is why teamwork is very, 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 very important. The last one that I always emphasize is research. Have high research skills. Use anything at your disposal to achieve the end goal. Don't wait. A lecturer is going to come, Mr. Swanda is going to come and tell me this is right or wrong. You test it and make sure that it is right or wrong according to your testing. Come to me and tell me, Mr. Swanda, you are wrong. This thing is working like this. That is how in this field we achieve a lot of innovation. You don't achieve innovation by taking what is already there or by waiting for somebody to come and direct you or spoon feed you. These are things that I always fight and take out of academic students, especially when they meet me for the first time. So I've given you those 4. I'm not going to repeat them because I'm not in a lecture. I want us to get onto some practicals. And then before we get into some practicals, let us have a rough agenda together. The first thing that I want is you report the problems that you have encountered ever since you started till now. I don't have to come and tell you, you guys, I don't see this happening, this and this and this, like I'm a, what do you call it? Like I'm an inspector. I'm not an inspector. I'm one of you. We are together traveling on this journey. So from what you have encountered, you are, no one has an answer. If somebody says I had a problem 1, 2, 3, and if the other one knows the answer, put up your hand and say, no, solve it this way. That is what we call collaboration and teamwork. Because you must be able to move on, whether Mr. Spanda is there or is not there, Alex is there or is not there, some of your friends are there or they are not there, you move on. It's very important. Right, let us first have you feel free. You can put up your hand and tell me the challenges or what you have observed, what you need a little bit clarified. It's an open discussion now. Let's have a quick open discussion, but I would like us later on to do practicals, explore things together in this video. Right, let's see. Are all of you on Discord here? Is there someone who failed to really join Discord? Because remember, Discord is a new platform which some people are not used to it. It's not the only one. If you join other developing companies, they'll be using Slack or they'll be using other tools. So the most important thing is once you get onto a team, they will tell you we are using these tools. And then you quickly learn them and be productive with them. Anyone who had a Discord issue, don't be afraid to say, I don't know, I failed, what? No. It's a process. Okay, the reason why I'm asking is I've got more people on WhatsApp than on Discord. Some groups on Discord still, they haven't voted for the leaders. Right, any other challenges you faced? Tell me if I'm too fast. Sometimes.
Sir?
Yes, go ahead.
No, sir. Sir, I don't really understand when you send the links. I'm in group 5 and I
Group
don't
5.
really understand the work, yes.
All right. I'm going to show you the group 5 and the Discord. We will check if you are on Discord. But there is another question here. Let me get the Discord. Do we do the assigned task there and do them as a group, or do we have to do it together? Since group work, you do it both or as individual and then present it to your group and then you post it on Discord at your group. Remember, that environment is open to other Cardano. Even new developers who are going to come and they are new to Cardano's developing, they will join you, also learn. We are also perfecting the process so that tomorrow we get in new developers who are not necessarily students. Some who are also looking for a living or who are developing in other blockchains like Ethereum here. So we want to perfect the process and make it easy for new people to use. So do it as individual. If you get into the group, today is my time to learn and there's no one on Discord, go ahead and then share, post on your group what you have found. And then number 2, when others post on your group, go read about it, then complement it, going do more research, add yours. Right. There is a reason why I said you must have a leader. The leader is who's a leader, a team leader's job is to make sure that the team wins. Okay? So in any team, the team leader he has to know, okay, I've got my players. Are they at work or they are always not available? If they are not available, you don't sit and say, well, these guys, they are not interested. Then you are not a leader. You have to find a way to motivate them, follow them up, check. If they have said, okay, no, for us we have discontinued this program, then come and say, can you remove these ones? We remove them. And if you are left with 4, I've got others who are joining every day. I can fill up. Because at the moment I can't say to others, stop, don't come. When I see the groups, some groups don't have even some people who have registered. So here's my answer again. You do your work as a group. The reason why teamwork is important, because you complement each other. When you are reading 1, 2 on a pair programming, I tell you, this one understands this thing 25%. This one is understanding it another 25% on a different area. So you will find when they are helping each other, this one says, okay, pair programming or peer review. We are going to do some breakout rooms here and do some practicals. So we will try to practice that once we do some breakout rooms. Right, let me answer the question, Cherub asked. Let me just quickly share my screen and show those who might be still having a problem on joining Discord. Right, I've given everyone a link to join Discord. When you join, you'll be using probably this link here. Invite. This one is a link that expires. So the one that doesn't expire is this. So let me post it again in this group here. That is the link. So when you click this link, I have joined. It brings you here. So it already tells you there are 12 Cardano open source people. There are 37, but there are 12 online. Accept the invite. If you have not registered with Discord, you might need to go through some process of verification. Accept the invite, and then you can continue to the platform. You allow it to load, depending on your computer. Some computers are fast, some are slow, some internet bandwidth are fast, some are slow. Thanks to Elon Musk, it's like he's going to bring Starlink here. Then we'll be having fast internet. Right. Then when you are here, I presume, Cherub, which group are you in? Cherub, which group are you in?
Oh.
Come again.
Group 5, sir.
Group 5. You must see what I will do. I am Cherub, I'm in group 5. So what I go, you
5.
go to group 5. Yeah. Just go to group 5 here.
Yes.
Remember in group 5 already, you are already there. Greetings, I am Cherub. Then you are already there. Then you don't have an issue, you are already here. Maybe, what is the other issue you were saying, because you have already registered? Group 5, so far, choose one to be described. So already, group 5, you have a leader, Cheris, or is it Cherub?
No, you see, sir, where there's
which group is this one? Cherub, which group are you in?
It's Cherub, sir. I apologize for us.
You in which group are you in? Oh, this Cheris is Cherub. I made a spelling mistake when I was typing here. Let me check. Yeah, it's Cherub. Cherub,
Yes, sir. I'll change that one.
Leader. You are the leader in this group. Congratulations. And then Princess, I don't know if Princess is here or not. You are this.
Yes, sir.
Can we write down the roles of the leader and the roles of the scribe? Because you just say a person is a leader. The leader then doesn't know what to do. At least let's have some roles and then the scribe. Right, first the leader. The leader is to coordinate communication, check tasks that are being done, ensure that each member is contributing to the task. Also, communicate with me and others when there are specific issues that are affecting your group. Right, I have seen some of you have gone out to WhatsApp and they've created groups there. If you can communicate on WhatsApp there, my question is, why can't you communicate here where we can see the questions you are asking each other, the contribution you are asking each other? Because after some time, you're going to have a lot of postings on your WhatsApp there. We don't see it here. We don't even see who is contributing more, who is understanding things, who is the, what do you call it, someone who needs more help. That is the reason why, at the moment, I can't invite Cardano other people to come here and watch an inactive platform. So if every day you've got a lot of issues, lot of successes, failures, and here some of the things that we can't help you with, then we can request other Cardano people to come and assist. Even other new people, if they want to learn, they come, they can join any group and they take part in each group. But what I wanted first, I wanted at least so that if there are some prizes, there is equal competition amongst yourself at first. So if others join, they are welcome to join. But what I might do, I might create another group of non-Richfield students, but they will work with you in a different way because they don't have a work integrated logbook to complete. For them, maybe they are just learning new skills in Cardano. They are welcome. So what I will do, I will create another group for them. And then they will do everything you guys are doing, but they will also have a task. They will do it. And then we will find a different way of incentivizing that group. And at some point in time, I will want all groups to collaborate. So leaders, I've explained your role. Any other actions, activities you can do to make sure that your group is successful is important. Sometimes there is grouping fighting. You see it as a leader, you resolve dispute, and then you find these ones we can't, you escalate them. You communicate the direction. Guys, where are we today? Yesterday, the most first important task, group leader, is get everybody, take your task, break it into pieces. Okay, we are going to do A of this task. Then from there, or you delegate, we agree, we are going to break this into pieces, delegate. Who is delegating? It is the group leader. The scribe is a minutes taker. There is a group meeting done on the WhatsApp, the scribe must be there, minutes of that. The scribe takes those minutes offline and online, post them in this group because we are communicating not only with Bernard, but with Alex, Suganya, and other Cardano interested parties. We also communicate with sometimes your lecturers might be interested. They can come and want to see, okay, how is it like where our students are? They must come here, find each group minutes there. You can click the minutes and have a direction. Okay, this group met and resolved this, and then you can see the minutes. The minutes scribe minutes must have a date. They must have what was the meeting for. If it was a meeting to resolve group issues, let it have a title or a description. Who attended? If 6 out of 15 attended, if 3 out of 15 attended, and there were some elections and 2 out of 3 voted for one person, let that be on the scribe notes. Put it in PDF. PDF is the best. Write it in text file, then in a Word, then convert it to PDF. Keep the originals, and then come to your group post, because that is the communication with other group members and other people who are facilitating this program. Sometimes out of the meetings there, I can pick up that, okay, there is something I didn't do that was going to help you. Then I can fill that gap. Or Alex can see. Like, for example, Alex posted some guidelines for you to do. You should grab them immediately, read, and come back with feedback. I read this and that, Alex. I understood it like this. Or I didn't understand anything at all. Okay, if Alex and you guys, he comes and says, all right, let us meet at this time every day like this. Who would like to come? And if you volunteer to say, I'm going to attend, diarize that, put it on your Google, Google calendar, Attend those meetings. Benefit from that. You are getting it for free. So that is what I'm telling you. Scribes, you are the footprint of all activities that are happening in your group. Because there is a scribe in each group, there is no need for me to attend each and every meeting of a group. There's no need for other Cardano people to worry about some other things that you are doing. You are also welcome to invite. If you want to write, let's suppose, for example, you are very successful with your task and you are so happy and you want to showcase. Remember, one of the skills that we have is presentation skills. If you can't communicate your success, your product, no one is going to buy it. It's under communication. So what about you've done something and you're so excited, you want to show, you can invite me, you can invite others, you can invite anyone else who's going to be present. And then from there, you can always let me know. The platform we use for communication is this one, free conference call with Coxygen. Why? Because it's unlimited. You can record, you can share, you can have breakout rooms. It's free and it's unlimited in terms of time and in terms of people joining. You can use that one. If you need another one, then you will use another one. But the most important thing is put up your link, put up your time. If you see it, we can attend, we'll attend. If we fail, others will attend. But the scribe must write the notes, post all your meetings, whatever, with date and time on your groups. If you've got something that is for everyone, post it under general. So that under general, anything is okay. So I've explained to you the roles of the leader and the scribes. So keep to that. At some point in time, you might feel like, no, you want to change these ones. You are free. They are not performing. They don't know what they are doing. You are free to redo elections and get others online. Because what is most important is for the team to win. Others might have joined later when all the elections are done, but doesn't mean it's permanent. This is what we call provisional election so that things get moving. For now, I don't want to prescribe to say if a group has no this, then I cancel it, then if a group no. Because this is the first time we are doing this. Let's see how it goes. Right. So I'm done with the roles of the leaders and the roles of the scribes. Remember, don't forget to complete your will logbook daily on what you have done. I'm going to propose that, remember, you need to have a daily work schedule. If it will fail daily, at least, out of a week, you have worked at least 4 out of 5 days or 4 out of 7 days. You have done something, you have recorded on your logbook. This one also, I am asking the leader of each group to check that the day has something written for all the members in your group. It's just to check. You don't read and mark it. Just to say, all right, Mary John, have you completed your logbook for today? We did this 1, 2, 3 like this. Then can I see it? Then they must show you. If you don't do that later, I know I've been with this since a long time. You'll see the deadline coming. Now you have to hand in your logbooks. You'll see the logbook for 3 months is empty. Then somebody sits down and starts now trying to remember, what did we do on this day? That always happens. That is why the scribe is going to bail you out with the minutes. Also, the scribe can also write down what activities were done and outputs. So that at some point in time, you are going to forget. When you go to your scribe, on your group here, when we click, you will see your activities that you have done. And then you will say, okay, we have covered this, we've covered this, we've covered this. Okay, Then this will help. If the scribe is not doing that, then a leader, talk to the scribe, motivate the scribe to say, please, this is going to kill us at some point in time when we don't have information. All our information is scattered here and there. We need it to be consolidated so that we communicate it effectively. Communication is key. That one is very key. And then again, as you post some here, keep also a record. Group leader, when you are checking with your scribe, check how many minutes, how many notes scribe is heavy, for which days they are missing. Then you remind the scribe, these ones are missing. On one day when the scribe is not there, leader take notes. The day the leader is not there, scribe, you are the leader. So you do those two jobs as a leader at the same time, writing some notes. Meanwhile, others, they work like that. Okay, so I am done on this one. Any question? Any question you can type here. There are some 2 questions here. Do we just fill them in without sending them? The logs, I presume you are talking about the logbooks. Oh yes, we are supposed to send our will logbook to you, sir. Do we just fill them? This is what happens. Number 1, I've got your CVs, I've got your logbook, because I put it clearly that you must email those to me. Prefina is the one who is looking after this. She's currently writing exams. When she comes out, she'll be, doing some sort of bookkeeping, tracking where your logbooks were received so that they are all in there. You have your logbook. Some people who fill that logbook digitally, they type. They do the electronic, they type. What is important is where you are, we can see you are completing it daily. If you are not completing it, means maybe you didn't work, or you worked but you forgot. Maybe there was too late time. This is where you need to combine the two. It must be completed by you to say you worked. Along there, if there are some challenges, some frustrations, some other things, those are the ones that you bring not only to your group, even to us. Because our role is to make sure that new developers have a nice experience without spoon feeding and spoiling them. So we are more like, okay, you are working very hard, you see this, okay, fine, but what about if we try this quality, like this, driving or guiding like that, working together. So the logbook is your baby. You need to fill it daily when you work. When you're writing exams, or don't write on your logbook, I was writing exams, I was doing my homework. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. I discourage you 100%, never do that. You are not telling me 24 hours. You can't have even 1 hour for your work integrated learning. It's a module. It's an examinable subject. And it's an opportunity for you no one ever had before. All right. Let us get into some practicals. Let me see if there is another serious question there. Lindy says, "Sir, can we have another poll for Scribe for Group 3? All right. Group 3, Scribe, I'll do that. Did you know that you can create the poll as long as you have a leader? If you can see my screen, you have a leader in your group. You just click your group there. First, if you are the leader, so which means you'll take your name out, and then you'll take the rest of those who are here already. Some are here on this list, but they are not on Discord. No one who is not on Discord must vote. How are you going to vote? That is the other thing. So you can come here. Oh yeah, I see here. No one voted. So you as a leader without me, don't have to wait for me. You click this part here. Then you click create poll. Then here you just say vote for Scribe. Then you put the names here, 8 more names of those that you have there. Then here tick allow multiple answers, 24 hours. If you want to make it shorter, you can say 8 hours, communicate with them 8 hours, or they can just do it there and then finish with it. And then you have your scribe. Here I like it because it's public, you can follow up. So leader, you can do that. Other groups, as long as you have got a leader, but before you have a leader, right, I see Luanda Melus 4040. Here there is a tie. So it's a tiebreaker poll here. So it means I have to create for you group 1. So group 2, I don't know where you are. You haven't voted. There's no one in group 2 at the moment. Saki, you are the only one. You can either work, move along, submit, do whatever alone, still okay, or go and look for your other members. If all of them are no longer joining this group, no problem. I've got new ones every day who are signing up. I'll assign them to group 2. So group 3, there you are, group 4. All right, I leave this to the leaders and to the scribe. Let me check again on the questions that we have. All right, yes, Cherub, you can be excused. I'm recording this. I'll put it on YouTube and send you the link. Right, any other questions from everyone? Right, if there are no any other questions, let's get to some practicals. All right, the practicals that I would like as the first start to take you through is Git. I want you to show by putting up your hand how many of you have installed Git on your laptops. Show by putting your hand. 1, those that have installed Git on your laptops. Okay, I'll show you the link and give you the link. The reason is, when you go and look at some work on Cardano repositories, what I would like us to do is, I want you to be familiar, because some of these skills are not easy to learn very quickly. So I want you to be familiar or to master usage of the following: Git, GitHub, in such a way that even sometimes when you get lost, you must know how to search and look for direction on how to use Git, GitHub. Then the other issues is issues. Remember, there is a code, a guideline how to contribute this document. This document, how to contribute. You need to go through it over and over and over. There it is. On the contribution, let me show you the steps. On the open source Cardano, we are looking at the following ladders. Number 1, you are a community member communicating. That is your first thing. You are there now on the Cardano communities, developers. What is the first thing to do? You don't jump and start contributing. You might not even understand how to do it correctly. Sometimes even when you want to contribute, you might find that it's very difficult. First thing is orientation. You orient yourself by reading this, how to contribute, the rules, expectations, and then you need to familiarize yourself with the platform. You will see, okay, this section is for what, this one is for what. Those are the things that you need to do. I consider you as a first engagement. The first one is you need to be maybe a contributor. See where you can contribute. I have requested all of us to start with easy documentation. But there's a challenge there. How am I going to correct a documentation of an app that I never created, that I don't even know how it runs, that is written in another language that I don't even know? How is it like that? But remember, as a new developer joining a company, you are going to find those situations. Doesn't mean then you only have to work for what you know. You look at it, you understand it, ask questions, you learn. The moment you begin to understand, the moment you will see things the way I don't see them. I might take some things for granted, but the moment you raise them up, then I'll realize, okay, I thought my documentation was good, but I see a lot of people here raising this issue. Sometimes for you, it's difficult. Number one, you have got no point of reference of what is a good documentation. Those are some of the things when we are going through together, we are going to look at them. And the other thing is, when people have not done good documentation of the applications, don't mourn, don't complain, don't play a blame game. There is a good reason why it is like that. A lot of people are very successful. They don't even have time to write test, unity test, testing their code. They don't even have time to even write documentation because they're always working under pressure and deadline, and they are so short-staffed that as long as that group, they understand their language, they move on because they are after customers. Get my point? That is why I want you to appreciate everything right from the word go and understand it bit by bit. Don't rush into saying this is wrong or right. There is no right or wrong. Be positive. I would like you to first see as much good out of this as bad. Why? Cardano is one of the top 12 blockchain in the whole world. These developers have done a fantastic job on this blockchain. But it might be very hard for you and me or for new other developers to come into terms with it. That is why you are there. So the moment you start as a contributor, seeing even after you have graduated, you will still be able on your spare time to still go on to the open source and contribute, because if you have created friends and now you are improving, it's your career. By the time maybe you finish your course, you are already skilled in this, some of these skills. This is what I want you to see. So I want us to first look at ourselves as first, let us engage this community and know the environment, and then look at it from a fresh eyes to say, okay, maybe we can try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'll show you where to try it. That is where I said you must have a Git account. So I presume all of you have got a Git account. Then we'll run through issues, the do's and don'ts of issues. I would suggest for now, don't raise issues. Don't go to that area issues and click and start typing things there. You might fall into a problem called spamming. You are not aware. Sometimes you are raising an issue on trivial things, of which those people don't even have time for that. Okay, but you see it, all right, this is an issue. Okay, but on the other side, the team says, this is trivial. We can even go ahead with or without it. Get my point? But sometimes remember, what you see as an issue and they don't see as an issue can be something a customer sees as a big issue. You might see things in the eyes of a customer, which is very important. A customer is not a technical person. A customer is somebody who's going to pay for your service. But a customer is going to moan on a comma missing, things are breaking. Every day there's this breaking. But me as a developer, I tell you, no, it's a small issue. No, that one is a small issue. No, the app is excellent, but those ones are just minor errors. But this thing is a fantastic thing. But to a customer, it's a different feeling. So that is why I say, you know what, there is no judgment in this process. You just need to get familiar with it. Again, remember the deadline. Later on, when you guys are working on any enterprise, then you have to learn to listen to a customer. That will be another skill for another day. Right, issues, I would suggest for now, all our groups here, let's say, with issues, don't write and raise any issues there. Imagine we are 35. If we spam those repositories with 35 trivial issues, things sometimes we can discuss and get to understand it ourselves, they are going to be annoyed. So I'll just say we go back to your issue, close it. Because you raised it, isn't it? Go and close it so that we do it the right way. Right, and then we are going to go through pull request. Before we go through pull request, clone, fork, let me say fork. Can say clone, because can clone the repository onto your computer. Just show you 6. Please, I'm not here to show anyone. Anyone who already knows this, let's discuss. Let's discuss. Actually, what I will do, I'll put you into breakout rooms so that you practically go through this in different groups. Right, here is another one, right? A pull request. And then number 7, peer review. I will read this to everyone to write it down. And then number 8, peer programming. By peer programming, it can even be group, where the group of you create a program together. All the eyes of you and your minds, you tackle it together. But if you are an individual and you enjoy working as an individual, you are going to get 0 for teamwork. I want to first make sure that this teamwork, which is highly needed in the industry, skill, we practically practice it. Right, I'm going to read to all of you, and then please write these things down here. I'm going to type them also on the general here. Right, is what? Is the basics. Right, number 1, Git. Number 2, GitHub. Right, number 3, issues. Number 4, fork. Number 5, clone. Number 6, pull request. Right, number 7, peer review. Number 8, which is the last one, peer group programming. Now, I will call it coding because here in South Africa, normally we call it coding. We say coding or programming. Sometimes it may not really be programming or whatever. If we are working on documentation or testing, the two of you do the testing. Or if it is a document, user document or technical document creation, do it together. What we want here is peer group programming or doing a task. So those are the things that Let us discuss and make sure that we practice these things today. Now, let's get on to the groupings now. These ones are skills and tools for everyone. Get me right. These ones are tools and skills for everyone. I'm not going to ask. What I need you to do is, all right, anything that you don't know, what did I say you must do? I don't know if you were with me. Anything you don't know, what did I say you must do? I'll repeat it. Research. Research. And then communicate. Test it. Try it. Make sure it works. The best thing I can tell you, if I give you notes on this and they run through talking, you are going to sleep. It's going to be useless. So I'm going to randomly put you into groups. And you are 11 and you are 8. And then I'm going to time you. And then each group, one will tackle Git. So you search Git, how to do Git. So I think the best time I will give you a moment, 30 minutes or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe. Also, maybe in 15 minutes you might say, hey, we didn't understand anything, didn't go through anything. But find something and practically show something. Show something. So I think the best thing is group 1 to group 8. Hello? All right. Thanks. I'm going outside. Tell him I'm going outside. All right. Thank you. I'm going to randomly divide you. The app is going to divide you into breakout rooms. Can you again take these notes? Group 1 is going to do Git. Group 2, GitHub. Group 3, issues. 4, fork. Group 5, clone. Group 6, pull request. Group 7, peer review. Group 8, peer program. Right. I'm uploading this onto the WhatsApp. You see, there we go. I need you to practically demonstrate using that. Okay? So I'm dividing you into group. Go, search, and practically come back. When the time is over, we come back together, and then you will practically demonstrate it. Don't run away. Some will run away. Don't run away. All right, there we go. This is going to put you into 8 groups. Some are going to be 2. Some are going to be set room for. I'm going to set it for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, come up with something. There we go. The counting has started. Let's start. Good luck.
So yeah, I'm seeing.
Welcome back, all of you. Thanks a lot for your time. All right, without wasting a lot of time, we are going to go through everything. Right, who was doing it? Tapelo, your hand is up. Is it a question or you forgot to put it down? Hello, Tapelo.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
All right, let me have a group 1, Kit. Who was doing it?
I was doing
Daniel.
it, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing your laptop quickly and take us through, Kit?
Well, sir, right now I just researched on it because I really didn't understand what to do.
How do you want to present it?
So, the group the room you placed me in, we were 2 of us, but the other person left. So I really didn't know.
It always happens. Yeah. That always happens.
Yes.
But the very fact that you remained behind and you did something, then how are you going to show us? Show us what you managed to do.
So I just researched on it. I got to know what is Git exactly, like the definition
Go through
and
it.
what it
I
does.
want to give you time to go through it. If you have got some practicals, that would be awesome.
So I don't have a practical like right now for that.
Okay.
Yes.
But then go through what you have.
So I can just
Be
explain
free.
what I understood by it.
What you found.
So I found that Git is a version of a control system which is installed in a laptop, and it's used as a command. So it's mostly used with GitHub by allowing GitHub, which is a web-based platform. So that's where we deposit repository as code, like for web developers. When they deposit their code on GitHub, and Git is there to allow them to update their code and save the old ones.
Right. When you go to online Google and say Git installation, did you check that?
Yes,
What
I
did you
did.
get on installation? Installing Git.
So installing Git is be able to install it as a software.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So it will be working as a command code.
All right. So I'll add some of these things here, then we will distribute it. Let me just add here. Installation. The ones that we have. If you search online for Git installation, can you see my computer, all of you?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Can see my computer. Right, we have got 3 different operating systems that are popular. Right, the first one is Windows, second one Linux, third one Mac OS. So the installation depending on what computer you have. And you need to check again if you are on Windows, which Windows are you on? and which Git version it requires. If you are on Linux, also check the installation using this version. I have put it here. Another easy way of getting what you need is use ChatGPT. For me, what is important is anything that will make your life easy and quick is as good as getting somebody to guide you quickly. I am on ChatGPT, you can see that. And then I just come here and say, give me steps on how to install Git. Now remember, you specify what operating system are you using. If you want instructions for any of the three, then you can just specify Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Right. This gives you, sometimes the information it gives you for 2019, 2020, whatever, but the best tool to use is to go to Git platform, the one that I have shown you here. But this is another very easy and quick through assistance you can get. Another one is to get a friend to get you through and you install it on your computer. Then I'll show you, once Git is installed on your computer, you are able to check by saying Git version. Then you see in my Linux, I've got version 2.4.0. And then, like you said, if I don't have Git, then it means I cannot automate my version controls and even save my versions on GitHub. Right, so what I got here, quickly you can see from my computer here, it even gives you a link, which is Git for Windows, this one. And then the installation is there, and then you can check. For Linux, there is apt, sudo apt update, then sudo dnf update, then install Git, it's sudo apt install Git. Then this is what we have. These are the commands that you type. Like for example, I'll just go here. You copy, like maybe most of you are not using Linux, maybe they are using Windows. So down here you copy and paste. Then you run it. I've installed it already. But when you run it, sudo apt update, it will do the installation, that one. So from today, I need every one of you to have Git on your machine. So group leaders, can you underline that? It doesn't take long for you to have that. I can edit here on this document I got from GitHub. I'll share it with you also. So the installation steps that we have here are here. Right, let's go to number 2. Right, on number 2, GitHub. Who was doing GitHub? Thank you so much. Who was doing GitHub? The person who were doing GitHub, they left. They are no longer here. That was group 2. Anyone here was on group 2? So there is no one on GitHub here. Let me run through and show you GitHub. Still with GitHub, the installation is very important. Installing GitHub. So let's go to GitHub here. Before we go to raising issues, we need to set up GitHub. So you need to sign up and register. Okay, you can see my computer. Go to github.com. In my case, I've logged in. Okay, I'm going to sign out. Sign in as. So I'm signed out already. So where's my sign out? Okay. Sign out from all accounts. Sign out as. When you come up to this link here, github.com, you've got two buttons on the right. Sign in, sign up. So I'm going to add on these steps that you see here. Under here, right, create a new repository. Before you even create a new repository, you need to sign up. See, these are the omissions for Git, for ChatGPT instructions. I will want an instruction to show you first how do I sign up, sign in, set up. Before you do set up, I didn't sign in. Let me sign in again. Right, once you have got an account, then you can always sign up. And then once you have signed in, it will ask you, to, number one, to verify your email, and then also to set up a 2FA, two-way authentication. You'll see here, then it will require your phone to authenticate that part. All right. Let me just give you the following steps that I have here. Where is that wiki? You see, if I'm signed out, then these are the things that we want to do. You can't do them. So just hold on there. Get my phone and sign in there. It's a code that you get from your phone. All right, let me sign in. Give this code. Okay, there. I've signed in. So let me add the steps for signing in for GitHub. I don't want to assume you are just going to be able to do it. All right, let me come here, paste that. Another thing that I've helped new people is when you are here with GitHub, and this is my account, you will see here called issues, pull request, actions, projects, wiki. This wiki allows you to create documentation or some notes or whatever. So the scribes they can use this. So whereby you just use this to type in your notes and keep your notes. And then on the right side here, you can have your, what do you call it, your menu of your pages. Then if tomorrow, for example, you need any of this, you just click. And then you can read through. See here, GitHub for developers. These are courses in global. They were also utilizing it. They were researching and using this for keeping up information. Okay, that one is fine. Right. I want to show you some other things on GitHub. So everyone, let's say from today, must have a GitHub account. Just sign up, verify your email, create a 2FA on your phone. Then you must be able to log in and see your project. So there are tabs around here. When you click your account, github.com WIMS-IO is my account. So you will see different projects that you have worked on or you have cloned. So, or you have forked. So you are going to learn how to fork from this area here. So the most important thing is here, this has got a lot of information tracking your work on each project per year. So that one is one most important thing. Then you can look at other packages that you can use. Get started with GitHub packages. Some of these are free. You can start with them here. We'll get into them once we are using them. So right for now, I think this information is enough for you. If you've got any questions, you can ask. Right, let's go to issues. I want to hear what Group 3 found about issues. Who is in Group 3? Group 3 issues. All right. So I'll be putting this GitHub. Right, let's go to issues. All what I was expecting you to just show me is to say, okay, here I'm on GitHub. Let's go to Cardano, any of the Cardano area or repositories. Let me just come here. This is the different repositories that we have. I'll get, for example, the first one, Bluetooth, this one. So when I click Bluetooth, there is a team I showed you before of contributors. There are 135, 149. And the languages they are using, Haskell, Smarty, R, Nix, Shell, Agda, and other. Sometimes there is a README file, this one here. Here I want to show you, let's suppose you are working on this repository and you find an issue. So you need to follow this. Please see contributing. This is very important. Then issues can be tracked here. So basically, let's take it that now I found an issue. An issue is a problem that you see. In my case for now, for us, let's do this. If I find an issue, for example, when I'm checking this, I'm going through this documentation because like you can see here, this is introduction, this is the user documentation, the main documentation is here. Then I go through this whole documentation. me come here. Then I say, okay, this one is working. Let's suppose I find an issue with one of these. Then I realize, no, it's not working. How do you raise an issue? Okay, that is what I want to show you. There is a section here, this one, second tab, issues. Click that. But for us now, please, let's do this. Whatever issues you find, write them down. Then go to your group. Check which group is doing Bluetooth is this one. Right, paste it here for everyone. Right, guys, I found an issue with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was doing this. This is how you can also test and find the same issue. Paste it here. Then I want your group members to walk through the same steps that you did. And if they really find the same issues or so, then you write it down, number 1. You keep it. Then go again on your hunting for lots of issues here. Remember what I said. Some issues that you yourself, you feel are issues. For the team, they may not be issues. But sometimes the team keeps changing people, or sometimes they are not aware of certain things. They really need certain things brought to their attention. Like you see here, how to submit an issue. The process of submitting an issue is very important. Follow that. Do not submit an issue which has been submitted. So how will you know? But here when you see there are 208 issues, it's quite a lot. So check here, search. Let's say, for example, it's about documentation. Say Bluetooth docs. Then I've got 17 open, 207 closed. Then check among what you see here that no one raised the same issue that you want to raise. Like, for example, you see here, docs revamp. The draft PR is for Bluetooth core documentation regime project. They read through, discuss it. Let's see. Do not raise an issue that has been raised. So you might have, you see here, some of these 218 are some of the duplicate, but written in different what? In different ways. Click, let's click there so that you have got the details. Right, add docs for Bluetooth-EX #6457. And then this person opened this issue 5 days ago. No comments yet. There it is. Then mention this issue 5 days ago. Fix bugs in Bluetooth-combined EX #6157. And then you can track down here GitHub actions. A bot edit status needs triage. This is a bot. Says this requires triage. Why some of these bots are used is to automate, because sometimes some of these things become too much. Like, imagine the developers are busy doing something important and then there are 1,000 issues, of which maybe 90% of them are small areas. Okay. Right. Who is doing fork? Because this raises the next issue to say, all right, I am working on this Bluetooth and I have got familiar with it. Which is better? Should I try to fix it and then do a pull request? Or you can try it as a group. How do you do that? That brings us to number 4, fork. Who is doing fork?
It's me, sir.
Thank you, Dan. Go ahead.
So I did a bit research about fork.
Yeah.
It's like basically you are taking that person's work, you know. It's like sort of like a copying like style, so that you can be able to save it on your own GitHub GitHub, or I'm sure, yeah, your GitHub account,
Repository, our account, GitHub account.
or GitHub account, so that you
Yeah.
can actually fix it later. So what happens is that after you've done that, you can actually fix all the issues. It basically takes all the information that is there,
Yeah.
and then you are able to check each and every information, and then you can pull a request whether you are done or you just wanna like do some
Yeah.
show some issues, and to highlight some few problems in the code, so that you can work with other people, so that people can actually access that account from your account, rather than going and search for that account. It basically gives you like a link, so that when you work in groups.
Okay. Thanks a lot. I always like starting from easy to complex. First thing that you can search on ChatGPT and say, how do I fork? Right. With this here, how do I fork here? So you log into your account. You can't fork a repository if you are not logged in on GitHub. A fork means just a copy. It's a copy. You make a copy of this source code repository from this account where it is. In this case, it is intersect MPO. I fork it means it is now going to sit at Bessie WIMS, at my account. Then I will have this. I've already done so with some of these. What I want to let you know is forking is making a copy. The question is why? It's because I want to work on it. See, you can raise an issue here. If you can't fix that issue. But what happens if you see some of these things I can fix them, rather than piling issues there, I can work with this, or we as a group, we can work with this. So let's fork this Bluetooth and then work on one of these Bluetooth applications. The Bluetooth here doesn't have one application. You can see it's different. You've got the Bluetooth transaction TX. This on its own is a repository on its own. You might just want to work with this only. So I can demonstrate and show you how to do the fork without writing code. Okay, you can do it using the command line. You can do it direct. So which means you just go to this repository. I will also explain cloning using GitHub. Cloning using GitHub is pulling this, making a copy of this onto your local machine so that you develop on your local machine, maybe using Node.js or using Haskell, and then later on you push your changes to the remote. When we say remote, we're talking about this GitHub. Okay, what I want you to see, forking is making this copy to my account on GitHub. That is forking. And then cloning, I will clone this. It's just the same. The only can clone by using this here. Click here, you'll see there is this link, and you can see it says clone. You can use this HTTPS. You can use SSH if you've got added your public keys onto your Git. Those guys who did Git didn't show us practically. and then you can use GitHub CLI. But you are basically doing the same thing. So copy this. You go to your terminal, which is your command line. In this for me, I'll be going to my Linux. This is a command line. And from here, because Git is installed, you need that tool Git. Then it has a command function called clone. So say git clone, then you paste. What basically is going to happen when you press enter? You can see it is downloading that GitHub, that Bluetooth, this whole Bluetooth. It's being downloaded onto my machine. See, remote counting objects 100%, now compressing them, then it is downloading 51, 52%. Right, this is the cloning part. So I want the person who is doing cloning here. What did you find on clone? I want you to talk and present. So the person who has assigned clone left, who didn't find anything. Start from easy things. Go to ChatGPT, ask, what is to clone? How do I clone? Give me steps for cloning. GitHub repository. Or go to Google. We used Google a lot ever since we are. Research. Get something out of it. Go to Stack Overflow. Type that question. How do I clone? What is to clone? Do it. But I don't know why they left. Okay? But let me show you in this case. Right, this one is almost finishing 96%. On the other hand, here, I think I'll click fork so that you see how it works. There's one thing some of you I would like you to do. Sometimes to appreciate the work these people have done, please guys, give a star. See here, you can click to give a star. So I give a star like that. You see that yellow means Bernard Bessie wins. I have appreciated. I have given Intersect MPO Bluetooth a star. It's very important. Okay. So if I am to fork, I hit that fork. Then I have got two accounts here. I've got three, in fact. I can select which one I want to use for what? Bluetooth. So, and here, what name am I going to give it? This one I'm going to call it a demo for teaching purposes. So it is going to be a copy. And then here I click create fork. Right. What is happening here? It is copying now from that account to PC WIMS. And here it is I just renamed this, but everything that you see here is now a copy of the other side. So if you come this side, now I need to examine to see here on my local machine that Bluetooth. So I'm going to use Linux commands. You can use Windows commands. So here when I say cd means change directory. What is a directory? It's a folder where I am. ls means list files in this directory so that I know what I have. So you can see here on the listing side, there is that Bluetooth demo. I've got Bluetooth there. Where is that one that I forked now? Or I know this one is Bluetooth. Yes, I have got Bluetooth there. There it is. So I want to go into that folder, change directory cd, then Bluetooth. So you can see now here, I am on the Bluetooth directory. So I can use again another Linux command ls to see what is inside this Bluetooth. Right. I don't take things for granted. You are using Windows, most of you. Who is using Linux? Who is using Linux? Most of you are using Windows. So on your terminal, you can search and say Windows CMD command commands. And then you can use any of these tutorials that you see here. List of Windows command, complete list. Here we are. You can see. Can use these ones here. Right, for Linux, the ones that I'm using are for Linux. But for Windows, this is what you can use. Let me just edit there for you. Here we go. So in this case, I'll use another command which is called code. But in this case, remember the Bluetooth has a lot of, okay, let us first open it in VS Code. I did mention before that you need to use that text editor VS Code installed on your machine. So can you add as one of the basics there, VS Code. And then here, this command, when I type code with a space dot in Linux, it is saying open this Bluetooth on my local machine using Explorer program of VS Code. So when I press enter, you can see immediately it launches the VS Code application on my machine. And then from there you'll see, here is the Explorer. I've got the Bluetooth here. Right, it's similar to, let's go online to the cloning part, this one here, where I cloned demo here. I've got the same copy folders, but these ones are on the remote GitHub repository, which is on my account now. The reason why it's important you clone, be careful, some of these repositories are very big, so you need to check that. But the advantage now is I have a copy of this. Then I can go around fixing what I can fix. Now, I'm going to tell you now what is the next step after doing this. Right, here, this is on the GitHub. Let's say I want to fix the documentation of this or to improve something that I see here. The most important thing is, please write this down. After a fork, you have got the power now to change whatever is there. And if you have made some nice changes as a group and you have really improved, then you do a pull request. You can send this. You can see here still saying the branch is up to date with, keeps track the Bluetooth.master of intersect MPO with this one now that I have. So here is a rule. After a fork, don't work on your master. You see here, it is one branch. What is a branch? A branch is just another copy, the main copy. Work on another branch and then check what you have done. If it is fine, do again a peer review. Then you can do a pull request from your branch, second branch, to this master of your own. Why? Because you might need to give it to some other people to check. They might say, no, this doesn't work. If you have already done it on this master and you have messed up, don't have another copy. You have to delete everything and go back and fork again. So to avoid that, create another branch here. I will call it demo or dev on this one here. So how do I create another branch here? You can go to branch. You'll see on the right side. Then you can click and then it will say, what name do you want to give to this branch? Look here. This is a branch of BASIC Bluetooth demo. You can create a branch of Intersect MPO, which is the original. That one. It's not a good idea. Do a branch of your own here, of my own master. BASIC. Then I will call this dev for development. This one I'll be using it for development. I'll call it test branch or play around, whatever name you give. Call it dev. Then here, I'm creating a branch of my master, which is also a what? A fork of Intersect. So when you come to my Bluetooth demo now, under branches, it is saying now there are 2 branches. There are 2 copies of Bluetooth now within my account. Then now we can now from here Bluetooth switch. See, this is the master. We leave the master, switch to the dev. Right, the dev has got everything we need there to play around with it. I like starting with the GUI things here before you go to the command lines, because the command lines, a lot of Windows users, they don't like them. So that is why from here, I'll give you an example. I'm going to go to the to this documentation. Right, I'm going to delete everything and say this doc will be changed. Okay, I just want to show you. I am doing a commit changes on the README doc in a dev branch of the Bluetooth dash demo, not of the Intersect Bluetooth. As a team here, you can decide, all right, let's change it this way, let's try it that way, let's see if this will work. Your aim is to make the Intersect Bluetooth better. So things that you think are issues, small issues, you can fix, play them on a dev or branch of your main fork. Right, I'm doing it here. I can still do it here. You see this side on Bluetooth. I can go to the README. Here is the README. Where is the empty README? All right, on the README here, I can also do some changes here. This is on my local machine. The moment I do that and I save, you see I am having a similar problem. This is telling me now that there is a change there. Commit. I like it, it's GUI part. You can follow it a little bit before you get onto the command line. On this side, if I commit, then I give a reason or extended description now. Say this doc will be changed. Probably I can give the reason why. I have removed everything so that I recreate it with audio, video content. Remember, look here, commit email also here, it's important. This is the email. I've got so many emails here, it will show you which email do you want to use for committing this. Why? Because this message I'm typing will be attached to that email. So if people don't know dev.wims, who is this one? They know CTO Spanat, then I will use this one. Commit directly to the dev branch. See, it also gives you create a new branch. Okay, so here this is the update let me doc. Then I'm going to change. What I want you to see here, play around with this, but play around on the dev branch of your main branch that you have forked. I would suggest probably fork mine this one, Bluetooth dash demo. Or you can even fork, because if you come to mine here and click here, there is this fork here. You can fork here. So if I come here and say dev, there again, this is my dev. But if you look at this dev now, it does not have a what? A readme. Fork the dev. You can come here, click fork Bluetooth dash. And then play around here, practice this, whatever changes, whatever you see around. Okay, let me see if are there any questions from you people there? Are you following with me? Any questions on forking and cloning? What does silence mean? It means it's too long or you are sleeping. Maybe any question?
I have a question.
There are no questions.
I have a question.
Yes, Tabelo, quiet.
Yeah, I want to know, like, after we've done all of these things, now you have to fix the whatever if is there. When we code, do you code on the side, like on a different server or open source coding, or do you like?
I like that question. Right, let us go back. You can see my screen. I like that question. Right, let me close this other. I might use this. Okay, I've opened that. I can close that. I can close this. This one was Cardano node, something else. Right, this one was how to contribute from Alex. I'll keep this. Right, this is where I am now. Let us say, because remember here there are different applications in different languages. You can see the dominant language is Haskell. So let me take one of them, this one, Bluetooth-TX. So the Bluetooth-TX Haskell support. This provides support for writing Bluetooth transaction programs in Haskell. Okay, so what this will require me to do, it will require me to install a compiler for Haskell. Because, okay, let's first check. What do we see here? Here is a README file using Bluetooth-TX, compiling Haskell code, tells you the entry point is the compile function. Lifting Haskell values at runtime using lift function. Instances of this, you make lift. Right, let's suppose you are going through this in your group and you're saying, what is this? What do we do? This is where we come in. Alex is there. Myself, I'm there. Or you can search online, how do I compile or run and test this one? Okay, open the source SRC here. Right, in this one here, you see there is a Bluetooth tx.hs for Haskell. There is also a folder for some modules here. Here are some modules, some code. Just going to open one. Value, is there a value there? There is no value. Trace, there is no value. Show any of these. Maybe list. At least we are used to list, you guys. Functors, EQ, enums, either. Any of these. Let's open built-in. Any, you open it. Right. This now is the Haskell module. And suppose you want to test it, then now this is where you need to, on this one here, you go to the main. Let's first go to the demo here. Check on the documentation. How do I install the compilers needed for me to compile this Haskell source code into EXE, into binary, so that you can execute it, can debug it. Like for example, I'll give you a simple example. When you are doing C#, you need Visual Studio, IDE, Visual Studio, integrated device environment. So development environment, sorry, integrated development environment. If you are on Java, you need what? Eclipse, all those things here. Right here, you need a compiler for Haskell, which is called HCI. Right, this is where now you need to go to the documentation here to check how do I install the compiler part. Right, let us go to the documentation here under user. Here is the documentation here. Then here we check how do I install. Right, there is no way where it says how to install. Check install GHCI. Right, I see this documentation. It doesn't have installation of a GSCI, but remember Bluetooth requires Cabal. Let's say install Cabal, creating a validated script with tempo, running, profiling, compiling. Okay, so this documentation, we can improve it by adding the installation of the compilers and then the package managers, so that if anyone is there as a new developer, at least on this documentation, you have what? You have how install these tools. Otherwise, when you have got, let me show you here. And when you have got this, you go back here. Without the know-how of how to install, but check closely, don't conclude. It is not here, it could be somewhere. Maybe you can come here, check here, table of contents. They are explaining this. Okay. I am going to give you some links on how to install on your machine Cabal, Nix, but there is no need for you to install it on your computer for now. There are some services that can help you run Bluetooth online, not on your machine. So I'm going to show you examples called Demeter Run. With Demeter Run, say go to all projects. Go to Demeter Run, all projects. Down here you've got starter kits. Again, this is a service. You'll need to sign up with this service so that they give you some free credits for you to test, run that Bluetooth, whatever you have, can fork it here. So when you click sign up, in this case, maybe for me, I normally sign up with my Gmail, with my account, then continue. Then once you have got an account with Demeter.run, like what you see here, then you create what is called a workspace. Go to your home, you can create a project, add projects to get started, add projects. So you see when you are already here, this is where now on the project side, you can, in this case, I need to have a name of my project. Okay, enter project information. I say demo. This is for students. One thing I want to explain to you about this platform. When you sign up to this platform, it gives you some units to use. So you need to know how to utilize those units so that you can test many different things. If you exceed that, then you will have to upgrade your account. So what I like with this one is the installation of Bluetooth. Okay. Bluetooth here, Bluetooth Pioneer 4. You can go with this one here. You can deploy this one. A Bluetooth version 2 Hello. It has got some starter templates. Bluetooth Hello World here. This is where you can start. Why? Because this has got the Haskell compiler, GHCR. It has got the package managers. It has got Cabal. Everything is on the cloud. All what you do for you, number one, you select. I'll go through this some other time, but for now, I want you to go on it on your own. Otherwise, this will divert a lot. So this answers the question 2 here. Let's go back to where we were on the testing part. Because that question that you raised also, what about if I don't know Haskell? Then how do I work with the code where I don't know Haskell? Okay, let me open it from this side here. So I open this Bluetooth TX here, and then I go to this function here. There it is. And then let's start. I selected one of these. Let me select built-ins to show you this one here. They are good for testing and running this. Okay, number one. Number two, what if I don't know Haskell? Don't worry. If you can follow the documentation and see where you can improve with the documentation. One of the things that I'm going to take you through is introduce you to Haskell. One of my things that I have taught students is learning a language. You need to learn the first one. The second one, third one, fourth one, easy because you are just repeating but on a different syntax. Control loops, decision making, data structures. See, basically every language has got data structures. Every language has got decision making. Every language has got iteration and looping. A matter of, okay, in Haskell, how to do it? Haskell is a bit different, completely different. In Haskell, you need to first change your mind the way it thinks about programming completely before you start onto the journey to understand how this is a function with one parameter that is going to give you back a value of an integer type. The name of the function is length of bytes. See, you might not be familiar with the way of writing a function to say, wait. Where is the word function? Because you're used to function in JavaScript. Where is the return keyword? You cannot. Remember, every programming language is different in the way it was constructed, the way the compiler is going to evaluate it. So, but all languages have got data structures. That's it. List, arrays. So, and what a data structure, a list, is a list in all languages. But now they will differ on the function, on manipulating that list. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is, right, the moment you can play around and come up to a point where you say, but I need to learn Haskell, there you are coming up right. There you are coming up right. Where do I start to learning up Haskell? So I'm going to do some introductory Haskell sessions, not with an aim that you'll become a Haskell developer. So that for you, you just understand, okay, when I'm looking at this, you see what you see in your C++. These are export. This is what we are going to export here from that module. And then these are imports. So in your maybe C++ import IO, that is a bunch of functions for input-output operations. Here, I'm importing a module called data.maybe. This one, maybe. Even if you don't know what is inside, but it is another module with some utility functions that I want to use here. You are importing that. You are also importing the space, but I'm importing two things there, this and that. Here, pool, everything that is part of pool. See those two dots. So basically, this brings in, you are reusing some features that were created somewhere else. And it will always be the same. Same with Java, you use import. Got that. So here, but out of this module, you are going to have these functions. And then from there, they start from here. So if you go to the top, you can see here, I'm exporting this. In this module, you are going to you're going to define this function, append byte string. So you see here, that is how this module structure is like. It's not so difficult. All what I'm trying to say is, it is then after that you can benefit a lot. Then you will go back into the source code that we had, where we were here now. Yeah, here on this one here. You take your source code for one particular here, you just play around with it, change some other things, compile it, see the errors, compile it, and then have some feel and look and feel. Sometimes some of it are templates, are simple, straightforward things it will run. This is where you work as a group. That is where we are. Alex is there. We have got other developers. But the best friend of yours, search online. Search online. The things that I can say avoid if you don't have time is, number one, don't have a machine. Don't install these Cabal project like these ones. You go through the installations on your machines. Number one, it will require a certain type of machines with a certain memory, especially the Cardano node will require a big memory. So your machine might not have that. You might take 6 months or 3 months battling with that. If you have the time and you want to go that way, you are an engineer, do that. Right. I would say avoid that. Use the services like the meter.run. Use the other services called code spaces. I'll show you some other time. Code spaces. So there is already here, if we go back to this, sometimes it gives code spaces. If we go onto the projects here, I saw it on Bluetooth TX template. Bluetooth TX template. All right, I will click this. I want to show you something similar to Demeter Run, a service. You see, with this one here, you don't need to go to Demeter Run. Up here, you can click here and open this with code spaces. The beauty part with this one, that code spaces has got the compilers, the what do you call it, the bunglers or the package managers. All it will install on VS Code on the code spaces within this GitHub. Then from there, I did this already so that you see how it is. It will load the same way on the other side. And then you will be able from this side. Here now, why I prefer these code spaces is because you can now test the Haskell code and run it live. So you can see here, it's a little bit different from Demeter Run, but not all repositories have got the code spaces. So you can write down on your paper, number one, you can use Demeter Run service for Bluetooth Haskell. You can use code spaces if you see that green button, the way I'm showing you here. Number three, Docker. We have got now a container called Docker. Can you add it on your book there? Docker. We have got some Docker containers. What is a Docker container? It is a packaged source code. The source code has got the compiler in it, but the compiler, for it to run, it needs a certain operating system. That operating system, certain other aspects of operating system, for it to be able to write to a directory to use local services. So Docker is a container. It comes packaged with the many needs of those operations in a container. So you can use that container on Windows, it will run. You can use that container on Linux, it will run. You use that container. So there are three ways, easy ways. I said avoid installing it direct on your machine, which is the traditional way which we used to do. So Demeter Run, that is number one. Demeter Run is also straightforward. Go through it, go through it. It guides you. Then the second one, code spaces. But code spaces, again, you have to make sure that you have got what? That green button, it allows for that. Like this one, you see, it is busy running, building, installing. At the end, you will see I will have a fully functional what? A Haskell Bluetooth project. The third one I'm putting to you is Docker. So if you search there, you'll see install using Docker. Follow these instructions. I think Docker is going to be the easiest also. Easiest. Maybe you can start with Docker. Then you can put all those things on your Windows machine via Docker. Then there you are ready to go. Like, look here what I have. I've got this. So, and again, there is a README which tells you what to do, when to do. what to follow. You can see here, say kapal. Let's test this terminal. See here on the terminal, say kapal dash version. See, I didn't install anything, but see, there I've got kapal. So it means, therefore, my kapal is up to date, is installed. And then here, okay, let us go to this part here, the app. Under the app, we can move to the app. And then once we move into the app, then we can do some of this part here. Okay, you can say build it, kapal built this. Kapal, then you say then run the executable with kapal ex. So it's a matter of copy paste here. So all what I need to do here is to change the directory to app. You can see I'm on app now here. Look, I'm on the app directory. If you want to see what I see on the app, there are about 3. I can say ls. You can see they have got a file called validator.hs for Haskell, main.hs for Haskell. Then there is a quick start, this one, which I have opened here. And then this quick start, I have worked on this. I have cloned it. I have changed it. I have a link. I did send it to the group. One of the groups, if you go to the Discord, I think it is group 5. There it is. PSE Bluetooth TX simplified. So you can copy that tree main here. Let me see if I can run it from here. If you look at this one, this is the PSE BlueTX. And then if you look at how I have changed it, the advantage of forking. Here, you can play around, test, learn. Meanwhile, remember, don't lose the focus. The focus is we want to improve intersect MPO original repositories. Here, I've got 2 branches again. I've got the dev branch, this one, out of which I played around. If you compare this one, I changed it, this one, with the original one. Let us look at the original one with this one. It's fun. Sometimes you're going to enjoy it. That is what I can tell you. Right, let us see here. Here they said this is a template repository for your Bluetooth-TX smart contract kappa contract project. You can see here it says this currently supports this. But when you use code spaces, you don't have to worry about this. It is done for you. Create the repository. You follow this, set up your dev environment using Next. There's somewhere here, you see here, if you want to use Docker, you can use Docker. Actually, I would say all of you are able to use Docker. But sometimes the downloads can take too long. Start with the code spaces, and then you can fork mine, this one here, this one. There's a dev branch, this one. I can send this to you, save it somewhere. Let me send it on to the group, because I know most of you won't return here. Once you are gone, you are gone. So which means you can fork that. Because once you fork it, it will come onto your GitHub account with this. Then you open it on code spaces. Then you sit. Within 15 minutes, everything will be like this. Like what you see here. This one is the one that I'm running direct, that I didn't fork, but I'm testing it. That is why when you see it, this one, it was not changed, the readme. The original is this one. Look at it. This is the readme. But look at the one that I have been working on. Okay. I worked with it, I ran with it, I learned a lot. I want you to do and practically run it. I had to change, put in my address, wallet address there. Some of you are new to Cardano. There is another requisite basic that you need to have. Please write it down on your file. Install a Cardano wallet. For now, I'm going to give you e.g. NAMI wallet. Okay. Why? Because when you are testing this, like here, it is going to request you for a wallet address, like this one. I had to use my wallet address. So what is a NAMI wallet? Look here on the right there. That is a NAMI wallet. It's an app which is on a browser. It's a browser extension app. This one, it connects to the Cardano blockchain. It is a Cardano web browser-based app. So here it is showing my account. So there are steps to install a Cardano wallet. So actually what I have done with this example, just follow number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play around with it. You'll see here, I've even given you a link on how to install a NAMI wallet. Play around with this. What I want you to play around with this one, Bluetooth-TX, is just to practice what I have trained you or shown you. Number 1, fork. Create another branch of your main branch. If you fork my dev branch, you fork, then you create another copy. Play around with the other copy so that if you realize, no, I've messed up that copy, can't use it, you delete it. How do you delete a project here? Go to settings, right at the bottom there. See? Delete this repository, but be sure you are doing it on your account on a branch, second branch. Okay. Let's suppose, now I want to fast track a little bit. Let's suppose your dev branch, you've done something, you test, now it's working, it's nice. And like this one, I was very happy with the way I put up this readme based on what I want people to do. Okay. There are options there. You can do a pull request straight to your, like from dev to the main, still within yourself, so that you practice, you see that you are doing meaningful things. The nice thing, this keeps telling you your branch versus the intersect one. How is it different now? You can see this one is 54 commits ahead of that one, because I played around a lot with it. If we can achieve with this one better functionality, speedy development, easy documentation on the Bluetooth template, which is here, create a template, then some of the changes we do, then they will need us, maybe we book a presentation with the team so that the team gives us the feedback to say, okay, we are happy, we are not happy. All right, what about this? Because remember, the team knows this very well. They've been working with this for years and years. That is why when they have meetings about this Bluetooth TX template, we join. So that is why whenever there is a meeting for Bluetooth, I will send a link for some of you to join. When you join there, you just learn, you hear, what is happening, you learn whatever. That one is important. So the options are limitless. When you have merged to your own master, and then you can't still conclude that your master is better than where you came from on the intersect. It is the team there that is going to roast you, question you, you test, you prove that this has got features that are far better than that one. But remember, communicating with the team is very important. You don't need to be a lone developer like what I was doing. Go up to 55 commits on this, doing changes that I will want them to go to that side. Forget. They are also developing it, going another direction. Maybe there are also 10. You can see here, there are 10 commits. They have some different things that they've done. By the time you get in there, the two are not compatible. But remember the beauty part. The beauty part is you don't need, when this is now a very good app on its own, you no longer need to always do a pull request. You make it now run on its own because it will serve the same purpose with that one. If the purpose for this one was to simplify, create templates, more examples, more templates, quicker things, and you achieve it, that was the original intention of that Bluetooth TX template, which was given to new developers to learn how to develop in Bluetooth Haskell. That is what I can explain to you in detail. All right, I have shown you pull request after some changes are done. Shown you there. You can play around. Again, I said, use my dev, fork it, then practice changing there. Moment you change something, immediately it notifies you that there is a change. Let me show you with a pull request. This is the main on Bernard. Okay, let me go to the dev branch. Right, I'm on a dev branch here. Right, I changed something here. Okay, this is a rapid Bluetooth application development, RAPID project. Let me say, this is intended to be for new developers. Okay, moment I commit here, it is immediately, if you go to the here, it immediately on its own sees the difference between the main and the dev branch within your account. I'm still with Bessie here. So immediately, dev had recent pushes 8 seconds ago. Then we have got this compare and do a pull request. Within my, you see here, I am a dev. Now, this is how you do it. There are different ways of doing it, but all right, let's click this compare. But it is going to open many branches. This is the base repository of Intersect MBO. Then this is the base main. See here, the base main. Then here you come head. You know this head is the, which means think of a train, the head, a repository base. Then this is compare dev. So which one do I want to compare with? So I suggest here, open, let the dev compare to basic main here. So move it from this one, move it to basic Bluetooth template. Then you see now, immediately this is the main of Bernard Percy. This is the dev where I changed the file. And then down here, able to merge. It says able to merge. These branches can be automatically merged. Why it didn't find a delete, an update of something that exists. I am adding something to what is already there. If you want to see more comparing changes, you see here, you can also compare across forks or learn more about diff comparisons. Go through that. Now go down here, read each and everything here. One commit, one file changed, one contributor. Here, let's jump onto peer review. Peer review, number 7. I am working on the main. And then you fork that main, you create your own. And then you create your own branch dev. After making changes to your branch dev, there are some changes now. Sometimes it's not good that the same person who has done the main changes or a different person who has done the changes to a branch he or he is not maintaining to quickly combine the changes or merge. Rather, you need a third eye. So which means you can now request someone to check that your proposed changes don't break, don't make what you are trying to improve worse. This is where peer reviews come in. Someone who also knows we're working together, like we are teams, he can go over your changes. I will see, like here, peer review, which means this was done by my peer. I'm reviewing the changes the peer has proposed. I see here on the left side, the original line. On the right side, I see the changes. This is the intended to be for new developers. See, this part here is the change that was written. Then you can see, okay, I simply adding this. There's nothing wrong with this. But sometimes, let's suppose he deleted this. Maybe he said, oh, no, I don't like this. Arab rapid Bluetooth application. Why is the R small? No, not a capital. It changes it to a capital letter. Then he changes this to a capital letter pen. Only the owner says, no, that rapid, it must remain small. Because the most important thing is Bluetooth application. There's a reason behind it, whatever. Or if you do this, then you are breaking many things down the line. This is where peer review is so great. A third eye, let me call it some others, can go over the changes and then they, from there, give their own reviews. If they say it's fine, then it will be merged. Then it will go and be merged. But remember, this will merge, the dev will merge onto the main of base. Then we still have got base to check that everything is fine, nothing is broken. Take it like we're in production now. You send a new version to the people and it breaks all their existing versions and then they lose money, then it's a disaster. So, but what happens if I send this to the main of a forked version? Breaks it, then we realize, no, the dev is no longer working. That is why you can even have 3 branches, another branch of another branch, dev 1, then dev 2, as many branches as you can. And then different people can work on different branches. So these are the recommendations. But I think when you work a lot and practice a lot. You are going to see value in it. Right. Then we can view the file now. There it is. You can see now this file. It is like this. Then you can either accept or revert back to the previous under this part. All right. In this case, we've got pull request. Let's suppose I'm happy with the changes that are there. Then I want to show you how to merge this side. I'm matching this to the main of Bernard. So I type here, well, that addition makes this readme more clearer. Okay. So then I come down here and see I open this part here. Then create a pull request. There we go. Then you click there. Then we have this site here. This now will allow the changes to be accepted officially and be pushed. So here, this is where, let me look at this closely for you. The most important thing here is communication via comments. Yes, merge pull request. Create a merge commit, squash and merge. The one commit from this branch will be added to the base branch. All commits from this branch will be added to the base branch via a merge commit. Okay. Then you can add a reason to say, right, merge pull request. Check. The most important thing here, before you click that button, read this open. Basic WIMS wants to merge one commit into main from dev. So I'm not going to damage anyone because I'm still within Basic WIMS account. So I go ahead, say the changes accepted, and we can merge. Here you give a meaningful description. This is the comment. Then I've added the comment. Then from here, I hit that button. You see here now, it needs an email because I've got two emails. If I put dev, they won't know who is this dev. If I put CTO, they will know. Then confirm and match. Now, what I want you to see is the communication that is happening here. It says we are all set now. The dev branch can be safely deleted. Delete the branch. No, I don't want to delete the branch because I want to do some more changes. But where are the changes now? If you go now to the basic main branch, this one, on this main branch, then you are going to see this pull request was accepted. The peer review confirmed it wasn't going to do any harm. Down here, it has been merged onto this main part of this account. I can then discuss, I don't want us to go into the main repositories. No. I want us to do everything, do our documentation, present, bring Alex, bring Scania, and then bring other developers, and then they train you guys further. So that one is very, very, very important. All right, so the peer programming, or the group programming, it's where do what I have shown you in twos, in threes, as a group, helping each other, reminding each other. No, what about that? This says this, go step by step. So wait, we are not clear about this, because you see, when we are a group, then others can be looking at the documentation, the codes, the standards that must be followed, tracking it. If you do it once, twice, 3 times, 4, 50 time, everyone now is a little bit comfortable in this direction. The most important thing here is don't make things worse. Make them better, or at least leave them the way they are. The forking, and after forking, creating a branch and a branch and a branch, is the way to avoid those mistakes. Don't rush into pull requests. Those will come later. I think this makes a very good introduction to all of you who are still here. Let's have some questions.
Alex,
Right.
what's the question?
Any questions? Yeah, let's discuss. Let's talk.
I have
We
a
are recording
question.
this. We are going to push it for everyone to listen to it. Yes.
Can I also, like, let's say you know Huskies and all the other, not all the codes basically, but you know Huskies, maybe Java or C#, and then you happen to run into an issue, and it's written in Huskies, and then you just decide, you know what, rather than writing it in Huskies, can you write the entire thing, the Huskies code in Java, and then submit it as Java?
All right, let us go through your question. Your question is, I am a Java developer. I want to do this in Java. Is this your question? Or clear?
Yeah, that's my question.
All right, here in Cardano, we have got, let me show you one thing. You can see my screen. I'll go to a service called Cardano Q. Here, I think it's .io. Yeah, it's .io. In Cardano, we have got all languages. So let's go to the ecosystem. Do you see my screen? Now let us go down to the developer tools. Here. If you are a Java developer, remember the Bluetooth repository does not mean it's only for Haskell Bluetooth developers. I don't believe that anyone who doesn't know Bluetooth cannot assist in making the documentation better. Why? Because what does the documentation need? Number one, it needs logical sequencing of steps, and then in such a way that a new person or an existing person can follow those steps and achieve a task. Whether you know the language or you don't know the language, are the steps logical? If not, can we make them? Have number one, and then number two, and then also you might find it is too short. It skips a lot of things. Assumes a lot. Doesn't care. Doesn't even care that it assumes when you are coming to that repository, you are already a Linux developer. If it has got only Linux instructions, what about Windows? Remember, when we are out there servicing customers as a software engineers, customers don't give a damn or care whether you are a Haskell or a Java or what. A customer has an application, says this application is critical, is for me to save the world. I'm paying you what you want. Your consulting company must do the job, because number one, you are professional and experienced people. And it is very rare that in a company you are going to use one language. Very rare. So what I'm saying is, right here, if you are comfortable with Java, you can always find Java specific smart contract development languages. If they are not listed here, I know there is another one which is called Cardano. Or if you go to the Discord, you see Discord here. Down here on my left here, I didn't join a Java one, but I will show you a Python. There's a Python. You see here, there is options, Python. C#, I did join C#. I don't know. Some of it I join when I don't work on them. After some time, I remove it. But I can add in Java. There is Java repository for smart contract development. The same Bluetooth code, that one. It has Java developers working on it. The only difference you need to learn is functional programming. Yeah, those is a completely way of approaching programming. So that functional programming, it's a must for all of you to learn it. It's a must. It's not an option. It eliminates a lot of bugs, makes you write better code. So all languages have borrowed a lot from functional programming. Things like anonymous functions, lambda. You see in Java there's lambda expressions. Yes. So maybe you hate them in Java there, don't like them. But now they brought them there for a good reason. Okay, so that is the answer I can say to you. What I can say to you, for me, I have always said, master the principles of computer science, principles of programming, and Haskell gives you the best principles. That is what I have closely studied. All other languages are coming back to functional programming. Haskell, they are taking those principles and implementing them on their languages, improving their languages. But what happens when you know Haskell and you still carry on using your other languages wherever you are? Because remember, if you're employed in South Africa, in Centurion, in Cape Town here, and as a Java developer, and you are an efficient developer, Haskell Bluetooth is going to make you an efficient developer. These guys don't tolerate rubbish. That is one thing that I have admired. On the other, let me tell you, on the other languages, I can develop in more than 20 different languages. Even a new language, you introduce it tomorrow. The moment I get onto it, within a week or two, I'm able to work with it. But I have realized a lot of our languages, number one, the compiler is statistically typed, but it's very weak because it's after speedy production, sending things quickly to the customer. That's why our customers are used to bugs now. They're no longer afraid of bugs. They always say, no, they are going to patch it. See, but on the other side, on the functional programming side, they are dealing with critical applications where one mistake, lots of funds are lost. Millions of lives are lost. So there, you can't take a chance. Can't take a chance. That is why you'll ask yourself why, in some critical applications, the engineers, they will sit back and opt for Haskell instead of C++. At the least, maybe they can accept is, okay, let's try Rust. If Haskell, but definitely if it's a critical mission, they will either use a functional programming language pure like Haskell or the equivalent. Something that is based on mathematically a provable method or logic that we can mathematically prove, show, reason out that things have been set out logically, tested end to end, and they are most likely 90% going to work. Okay, so that is the answer that I can say. Any other question from you? I see people want to go now. It's taken a long time. Gandhi, any question? Imran, Tapelo?
Sir,
Yes, for now, I'm okay.
sir.
Okay. How did you
Sir,
find today's session? Number one. Number two,
sir, could you?
how should we improve it?
The session, it was very
Sir, I have a
interesting.
question.
Oh, you can
One
ask
at a
him.
time. Gandhi,
Oh, the session was interesting and I learned a lot though. So I'm looking forward to learn more on their platform as time goes. And when I have a
okay,
question,
go and practice, yeah. And
and
go and practice. I know today is a Sunday. You guys
yes,
sacrificed. I know it's not a good day. It's a Sunday. It's the only time I can find because I'm busy working a lot with other things. So, but I really appreciate. Try to practice what I showed you today. I'll just list it very quickly from the bottom going up. Right, peer programming, do it together, and then peer review. Right, before you finalize a matching or whatever, just ask some peers to review the changes that were done by somebody so that you get used to the correct ways of doing things. I have seen it in schools. Peer review is like I've written my assignment, but before I submit it to the lecturer, I give it to my friend to go over it and correct me 1, 2 here. But in this case, we need to practice it a lot. Pull request, and then you need to contribute to certain, instead of raising issues, and then but you have a know-how of, okay, this one we can fix it, 1, 2, 3. You do a pull request, and then what I have advised, I'm also going to be advised by others. Number one, a fork. You've got your main on your fork branch, have a dev branch, can have another dev of a dev branch, so that that second dev, do whatever you want with it and see whatever changes. Then you pull request it straight onto your dev branch, go to your dev branch, learn and see, oh yeah, this is how this thing is. Can I point? Then get used to doing it correctly. And then the most important thing, whichever community you are going to work with on open sources, you communicate, get into them, learn their culture, learn how their rules, how they do things, and then be patient, then suggest, show them bit by bit, and then from there, they will direct you. Who knows? In some years to come, you'll be one of the best developers. I've shown you cloning and forking, and then I've shown you the issues. For now, I've requested everyone, don't just go run and raise issues on what you feel and think. Even where you see, but here there's an open double quotes. Where is the end double quotes? No. Haskell has got a quote, a single quote after a word in Haskell. It's another way of giving a second variable which has a similar name to the previous variable. Okay? Say const edge. Haskell has a way to say const edge prime. But when you come from other languages, why there is an open bracket there. Shouldn't be there. You remove it. Or where is the closing bracket? See, then this is an issue now. Remember, the syntax of Haskell, the symbols of Haskell, they are a little bit difficult. Even Haskell good developers, I say to all of them, come first learn Bluetooth. Doesn't mean you automatically you know Haskell, therefore you know Bluetooth. So come and learn Bluetooth. Or on your own, go through learn Bluetooth, and then from there, because Bluetooth is a what is a specific language for Cardano blockchain. It was created in Haskell, but there are a lot of other modules which they had to create. You don't find them on the Haskell Prelude, which is their common module. Right. I'm not comfortable with anyone just rushing to raise issues. You're going to spam and frustrate developers. Okay, play with the one that I have done. I've sent it to all the groups there. And then you can raise issues there, practice to raise issues. Let's see how we resolve those issues. And then pull request, and then let's get it there. And then on your own, start a little bit doing a basic Haskell, basic courses. How to create variables, how to create functions, how to create types, data types. Little by little. One thing I promise you, you are going to be a better developer. And one thing that I've realized, it's a pain, it's sometimes a little bit unusual, but it pays. That is one thing that I've realized. Right, and then Git, yeah, that one you do it on your machine, and GitHub, then I've shown you. All right, those are the things. Right, anyone else? I need another. Ntobeko, I don't know, you were here, but we're about to close now. I think thank you very much for your appreciation, Gandhi, Imran, Ntobeko, Tapelo, and the rest. Right, go ahead, Imran.
Sir,
Yes.
sir. Okay. When it comes to the folders and within the code, okay, there's an option on GitHub where you have got code, pull requests, actions, projects, and all those other stuff. When it comes to the folders under code, how do we approach them? And okay, because I've studied the notes on it. Most of them are domain-specific languages. Some of them use Haskell, and okay, it's a problem trying to convert it from Haskell to Visual Basic or HTML. So how would we go about doing that?
My advice, I did it the wrong way first. Then it took me years to undo it. My advice for now is let's concentrate on what we can do, the documentation. Right, as we do the documentation, we become familiar with that each project is source code. You'll need to attend lessons, you need to attend this and that. My advice is, if you want to be a Cardano engineer, you need to learn Haskell from scratch. Now, it is more difficult for somebody who has learned Java, Visual Basics, who has been using Windows to get onto the Bluetooth. We can go on for 1 week. I take you through. But for you, do this for now. On your machine Windows, you can put that Windows for Linux subsystem. And then bit by bit, begin to learn Linux commands in Linux environment. Why? Because Cardano is open source. Most of their, what do you call it, their operating system is Linux. So most of the examples that we are going to find here, when there is a bug, when there is a problem, that if the problem is on the Linux side, there is always somebody who has an answer or a suggestion or something. But on the Windows side, the community is very small. Get it from me. It's very small for now. That is on the Cardano side. Okay, it's growing fast. I like that. It's very small. So that is why my advice is, all right, if you want to use Java-specific smart contract development, it's another group. This one I wanted it, all of us, because remember here I've put in 10,500. I want competition. So if you come bring something that is excellent, but that is which is outside the Cardano repository, those ones that I gave you. Number two, outside maybe the focus on documentation, it will be very difficult to judge and come up with. But people are going to vote anyhow. It will be for your own good. Let us try anything without any boundaries, because people are different. You can master it very quickly. There are some already here in South Africa who know functional programming very well. Some have already been doing maybe this Cardano development like that. Explore it. I will encourage you to explore everything, but within your group, help each other to be on the same ground, do similar tasks, help each other, build up, so that at least when it comes to internal voting for who is going to get 500 cash, there is a fairness, at least a little bit. It's not going to be 100%, or it's not going to be what we want it to be. But it's a process we all must enjoy. One thing I want you to do in this process is enjoy it. Enjoy it. Another thing, I'm going to be available. Some of you just check when I'm free, get me on board together live. Let's do something. Even if you are one-on-one, as long as you are there, say, got this time, let's go through it. Then I say, all right, I am free, let's go. We go through it. Then so that I also want to see and feel the way you see and feel things from your side. That one is very important. This is where maybe when you have got some other issues, you bring them, then I realize, okay, that's a valid issue. So on now, focus straight on being a Haskell Bluetooth developer. Some of you have got only 1 month will. The time is too short. Some of you is 3 months will. But those who are doing their final 3 months, maybe when you graduate or you finish, you're close to your free now, then we can come and put more effort. One thing I can tell you is a lot of source code in Cardano, 95% plus, is on Haskell. It's on Bluetooth. Bluetooth was developed using Haskell, 99%. And there's a lot of scripting, which is now requires you Linux to know bash scripting, shell, that thing. Yeah, those two, they dominate a lot for some good reason. So that is why my advice is try first and then report, but don't leave your group aside and branch completely. If you want to do that, I'm happy to be with you. I'll be happy to be with you. Then after some time, then maybe you can come up with something even better. The primary aim of this whole exercise is if we can contribute 30 to 40% in making repository documentation better, or bring in better ideas, or actually we bring in better ideas for who? Let's fix what we can and make better what we can make better. And then later on, learn from what other people will consider better. Because remember, what I think is better, what you think is better, other people don't see it as better. So we need also to understand their shoes, get into their shoes and think the way they think. Because remember, they are on different cultures, different time zones, different experiences. They are more experienced by far than us on this Cardano, because they have been doing it for quite some years, since 2019, since 2018. That one is there. It's actually telling you that we have a lot to learn and a lot to improve the way some of the things that we have been doing things. Where then do you start? I would say start with functional programming principles. Go to functional programming principles. And then that is a good start. And then from there is a functional programming JavaScript. It will be quicker and easier. But remember, the most important thing I have seen, it is the change of mindset. If you change the mindset and get onto the other mindset, it tends to be easy, clear. You see the patterns, you see the logic. What is a hindrance to a lot of developers from the non-open source side is you are carrying along your experience of an imperative world. Then when you get in here, you have been very successful on the other side. Yes, you've made millions, you've done enterprise applications. When you get onto this other side, there is that tendency that I know what I'm doing. This is wrong. But when you sit down and you listen to the other side, they begin to show you and explain the most important thing behind what they've written. Then you begin to go back and say, but I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing a wrong thing for 10 years. Why? See, the nice thing is it's provable. It's not that it's a emotional or subjective judgment. Oh no, it's provable. All right, let's end this session. I've taken it too long. It's now 17:49. Thank you very much. Let's get into the groups now. Rejuvenated, a lot of spirit. Communicate, build your groups, and then push, follow whatever you have. Communicate. We will get there. Allow me to stop sharing, and then allow me to stop recording.